everyone, it's Anna from PNW Blanks and Sublimation, and today we're testing out a new product, these frosted glass mason jars. So I already have my design wrapped all the way around that and secured with just 2 pieces of tape, one on each side, and it's about, I would say maybe a ½ inch on each side from the handle. So we're going to go ahead and place it in here. And I want to make it so when I close it, then the transfer is pretty much completely covered. So, and you'll notice that I have super light pressure there. And we're going to have a drop in temperature because that's what the press does. And then it will heat back up to our printing temperature and then start to count down. And I have this set at a little bit of a lower temperature. I'm going to try it with the glass. So I have it set for 350 and 355, but then I have it a little bit longer time for 40 seconds. This is the first time pressing one of these frosted glass mason jars in the PNW Sublimation Press. So we'll see how it goes. With other glass products, I have found a little bit of a lower pressing temp and a higher pressing time has been suitable for me. Like we always say, settings and everything, your results are going to vary. So it's going to depend on how cold is it in the room that you're working in, or the garage or the craft room. What's the humidity like? What is, is it super windy? Do you have a window open and it's just blowing like crazy? All those things are going to affect your particular time and temperature that you want to set your PNW Sublimation Press at. So we have it, you can see it's starting to count down. So I'll see you in about 30 seconds. All right, and one thing I did not do when creating this design is I did not measure twice and cut once. I measured and then I printed, and it's actually a little bit too big for my cup. So you could see this kind of like wrinkling down here. That's because I have a lot of overhang on my bottom, and that's like a huge no-no. We always tell people don't do that. I just wanted to test it real quick. Just test this new product out basically. So we're gonna see how it turned out. Another thing is I only did 1 press because I believe it got everything in here, but I may have made it just a tad too wide. So we're gonna see. We're gonna do a little peek here and see what happened. And glass is super duper hot and it maintains its temperature. So you just want to be careful with that. So my P here in the wording didn't press all the way. So let's take a look at the other side, see if we can without having to get a second glove because I don't know where it's at. So let's peek on the other side, see how we did. Yeah, same with the other side. So it's possible either that because, as we always say, the temperature drops as it gets to the edges and also the top and the bottom of the platen. So if you're only having it in there for one time, whoops, knocked the camera. I'm just trying to stick it back on there real good. So if you're only having it in there one time and you're not really rotating it at all, so I'm going to kind of repress this here just for a few seconds. I'm just trying to make sure that that handle doesn't get too close to these thumb screws here because I don't want, and it's glass, it's fragile, I don't want it to break. So we're going to press just for a few seconds this way. We'll rotate it toward the back and press a few seconds that way. Just to get a little bit more of the even, consistent heating on those edges there. So I could have gone a little bit smaller with my design, or alternatively, you can do the rotation thing. If you're going to do the rotation thing, you know that that's going to be needed. I suggest doing it while your press is still warm. You could see the temperature dropped quite significantly with my press. So we will just have it press, probably wait till it gets to about 350 and then I'll go ahead and flip it. Alright, so we're going to open this up and then slightly rotate the handle toward the back, just so we can get a little bit more, like I said, consistent heating. And you just want to make sure that the handle isn't, you know, there's not too much pressure on that handle there because you don't want it to break. So we will have that heat up and then do a few seconds on that side, and then hopefully that'll get enough heat to get that full transfer on both sides of that. Most likely when you're doing these, you're not gonna be doing a full wrap or anything. I have like a design on the bottom and then just wording up top on my design. I didn't do, you know, a full wrap like you normally would with a 20-ounce tumbler. You have like the design fully all the way around. I didn't do that with the glass mason jar because I think that these look better with either designs wrapped around or, you know, single designs or same design on front and back, sort of like a coffee mug. I don't like to do full wraps on my mugs. So, all right, that should be enough time. Now let's take another peek at that P, because that's right where it was having an issue. And that looks great. And we did good with our little peek and didn't get any ghosting or anything when we put our transfer back. We got it back in the right spot. So that's also another concern in doing this. And yeah, the S still needs just a tad more time, I think. Try to take it down so I can see how there's just a little bit more left needed on that S. So what this is telling me is my original settings are just way off. I probably need it maybe a little hotter, or maybe even, let's try and do it this way. Maybe a little hotter, or maybe more time. Like I said, I don't do glass very often in the press. Well, actually I don't do glass very often, period. And so I'm just trying to test out some different settings here. That way I can tell you all what worked best for me, and you can try it and kind of slightly tweak it from there, but not have to start completely from scratch. So I'm thinking probably a combination of hotter temperature and higher time, or maybe just hotter temperature and the same amount of time. I think I'm gonna have to do a second one of these and test it out and see what happens. Alrighty, so let's take that guy out and take another peek at that S, and that looks much better. So let's do our final review. And as I said, I don't know how the bottom's gonna look. I had that large overlap on the bottom, which is like a huge no-no. So then it kind of gave it this interesting kind of like dirt look at the bottom, which actually works for this design because they're little cacti, and at the bottom it just kind of looks like they're growing, so it actually works. So if you can't read it, it says stand tall and look sharp. And then I did this because there was a whole bunch of different colors in it and everything, so you can actually see how those colors show up on the frosted glass mason jars. Super cute. I really like them. I like the size. I think it'd be great in the summer, or even for like hot chocolate or cider, because they glass so it'll retain the heat really well for having some hot chocolate and cider in the wintertime. Or like hot cocktails. So there you go. Oh, and you know what? Let me actually just go ahead and grab the top of this so you know what it looks like. Because it comes with a little lid with a straw hole and a straw. Just 1 minute. Alright, so this is the lid that comes with it. It has the little grommet in there to keep the straw nice and in place. And the straw goes in. It has the little stopper for you so the straw doesn't come all the way out. And this twists on like that. And ta-da! You have a cute little mason jar with a straw. So these will be up on the site at pnwblanksanna.com very soon. If you liked this video, make sure to like it, share with your friends, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content in the future. Also, be sure to head on over to our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/PNWblanks for all kinds of tips, tricks, tutorials, and more. Have a great day.